I know it's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh my god.
Perfect.
As I already screw everything up.
Nah, you good.
I'm gonna do this. That.
You want me to put it in front of my face?
Yeah, please.
Please.
Look at this. Don't do. Hold it from the tips, like on the very corners, because when you do that, you're blocking light a little bit. Right there. Perfect.
Okay. There you go.
Perfect. How long has it been since you and I have had a talk? A stern talking to.
Probably a full year. I don't think we've done a podcast episode since like the Oscars.
I don't think so either. Not no. I think
Actually,
you're
yeah,
right.
it was the Oscars. Yeah.
Well,
Welcome back, internet.
welcome back, everyone. And nothing has changed.
I forgot. I keep forgetting we live in a society, you know,
live in
where
a
there
society,
are people around
yeah.
this studio.
It's kind of bonkers. But no, so today we have something special. And I always say this, I know. We have something special, but this is our end of the year podcast. And today we'll be discussing, I don't know, just cool stuff.
Yeah, the new year coming,
new
stuff
year
like
coming.
that. Retrospective, future-spective.
A future retro introspective.
Okay, I'm into that.
If we could do that. But no, I think today we're just gonna chill out, talk about the channel, talk about us, talk about everything that makes us, and hopefully you, our lovely audience. But yeah, as we all know, this year has been hard. It's been rough. What are some things that you are looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to It's interesting. I'm looking forward to the fruits or results of a lot of the stuff that we've been going through, because it's interesting to me that we started off this year with like a huge boost, but like YouTube has kind of like been, because there's a huge influx. There's like, let's keep those tried and true videos going, and then any new type stuff will be going down, while during that time we've had a lot of room to experiment. And I really love our two newest videos, because I feel like they're kind of the precedent for like, you know what, this feels good, let's do this more. So like in the future, I'm excited for the slightly new and entertaining direction kind of we're going for.
Yeah, I think like you said, we're trying to move to more, I guess in short, what you just said is we're trying to move more into skits, stuff like that, which I am a huge fan of. I think that's awesome. I feel like personally that is going to be more beneficial to us, because not only we're practicing our craft more, but we're also entertaining the audience, and you know, they end up learning a thing or two. And not saying that what we've been making before isn't doing that.
Well, I would say what we've been making before is only informational, and
Yeah,
it's
just
less
about.
And the problem is that like then it becomes kind of I mean, I get nervous because I'm like, am I saying stuff wrong?
Yeah.
Like it becomes like I'm just standing here and I'm trying to say stuff and hopefully they'll get it, and it goes from that to like and getting nervous to like where the entire time we were making the sweet spot sketch, we were just making each other laugh, and like the information was pretty, like there was literally one bullet point that's like, if you leave here you should know 2 stops up. That's yeah. And there's other stuff that you put in there that's good. It's just in like a really good example with like the magenta, but like beyond that we could have some fun, make it really silly. The most recent video that like I did about this happy Christmas
Which you're
story.
wearing, you brought it all out today, which I love.
Yeah. Exactly. Wait.
Ooh.
So that one, I used to do a lot of creative writing. Yeah, this is Dante's Inferno. I was like, that's the only thing that I have that looks even remotely Christmassy. Like the color scheme
Inferno.
is the color scheme. So I thought that would be funny, and I don't know if anybody else noticed, but I thought it was really funny when I saw it.
I love it.
But yeah, and then the video about It's a Wonderful Life was really informative, a little bit too informative now that I think about it. But besides that, like, I really like the jokes that my brother helped me write it, and like the jokes we put in, I felt really good about, because I thought it was like, yeah, this is more fun. Like, it's not just a script that could be a Wikipedia article. It was
I feel like those type of videos, although they do pretty all right and whatnot, they're very informative. Yeah, sure. Yeah, is just I don't know. I just gravitates more towards sillier, funner stuff, which is why like a lot of our videos we try to hammer in some of the comedy with like our improv or whatever it is that one of us will say something behind the camera and like we just riff off of each other. I think those improv moments, although they're good, if we're switching something to more written, something more I want to say concentrated, into really doing comedy or really doing skits.
Because I would say, like, once you write the script, having a really good skeleton there of like, cool, this is a joke I want to do. Like, one in particular that I like had in the video of the Christmas one was the one winged angel song. Yeah. And like I said, like, and wingless angels. And like, if I had thought of that at the moment, I kind of would have said it, and it might not have come out how I wanted. But the fact that like I had written it in, and then I was like, okay, I want to have this look on my face, and I want it to like Lucas, our editor, edited it differently based on like notes I had given him. I'm like, no, this is how I envision it. Yeah. Let's twist it a little bit, and then also put the music in the background. So like it having like that enough time to let it like actually come into your brain and like become this whole thing really helped. And oh my god, Lucas did such a good job. I really appreciate him, because we weren't gonna have him edit anything like last week, but then I was like, I'm so busy, I'm so sorry, can I hand this off to you? I'll do a rough, I'll try to make it. I even put like adjustment layers with the labels of like, here's where this joke goes, and here's where this image goes, and all that stuff. And he nailed it. I got nitpicky. It was just like, well, this is my vision, here's a couple things, and like just a couple things for him to change, but he nailed it. That's probably one of my favorite videos I've like ever done. Like,
and we saved the best for last, I think, because like I wasn't there for it, unfortunately. I was out for a week.
Oh yeah, no, you were busy. Yeah.
But like the fact that it came out well written, it made me laugh. I enjoyed it a lot, and overall, it just gave me a better feel of of the channel. Like I was like, this is more like what I think we should be doing.
Like I would share this with somebody, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, like, our other videos are good, but like unless you really care about camera stuff, you're not going to be like, wow, I'm going to share this to people on Facebook.
Yeah,
like, you know?
it's
same thing with the Sweet Spot video. Like I've watched both of those two over and over and over again, because I'm like, this is funny. Like this is our humor. Like both the videos.
It's definitely our. It almost, I don't want to say lulz the randoms type humor, because
lay epic random.
It's just like, I don't know. I'm a huge fan of huge left turns. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is the like this is the tone word. No, it's like it was completely not what you thought. Like I don't know, is that kind of humor that I really enjoy, but the fact that we're diving a little bit into that in our last couple days here, last couple weeks. And I think, I mean, you guys be the judges. I think overall is going to be better. Yeah. Personally, not only I think the format will be shorter, more contained, better written. It just goes up, dude. I just think it goes up. I think and then if we're gonna get your brother involved on writing, that would be cool too.
Gosh, so yeah, he is. So I've helped him with. So if you guys are jonesing for more content similar to that video, my brother did a video about Speed Racer and the Fast and the Furious movies, and like that movie is like. I tear up thinking about that movie. Yeah. I love Speed Racer so much. And we watched it together like over the holidays, and then he wrote the script, or like vice versa. And I helped him write it too. And we both are so oh, I love that video so much. So like it's more, we're both trying to help each other have that kind of like more comedic writing element and like the goofs. And it was funny because like even on the It's a Wonderful Life video, there were a couple jokes that he wrote that I'm like, I don't feel like that. But one that I like that like I still don't think it works very well, but I personally like it, is like I say, well, it only won for technical achievement. Years later, George Lucas would do the same for a small indie film about space or whatever. I don't watch Nerd. And then like cuts off when I say the SH word. Should we curse on this? Does it matter?
It's up to you.
I'm fine with. I don't care. Either that. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I said like I don't watch nerd shit, and it cuts off the word shit, and I'm like, that's good. Like I'm keeping that in, and like there were a lot of that like Cameron put in
perfectly
the script.
cut.
Exactly. Yes.
No, it felt.
You know something's good when somebody laughs in the rough. I showed that to Lucas on the rough, and he was just like, "That's funny." I was like, "Yes." So.
course.
Yeah.
No, I think it's good. I think it's good. I think it's gonna be nothing but positives. More shorts, more than ever.
Yeah. What are you looking for?
Me, I'm looking forward to. This is what I'm looking forward to. I am looking forward to not only a fresh start. Technically, how can I say this? Let me gather my thoughts here. I don't know. We both of us, we've learned so much this year.
Oh my God, yeah.
So much crazy, cool things. We went on a work hiatus in the earlier months where you and I were just stuck here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
And like, dude, we just need to make videos. Like, oh, let's just make them.
Do it, yeah.
But I feel like everything that we have learned, everything that we have gone through, all that experience and actually implementing it, you know, saying it's like, oh, we've been through worse literally last year. We've been through a lot worse. This is nothing. And we can just continue and pep up. I think this year, although it was hard, it gave us a new milestone to look back to and be like, I went through that, yeah. Whatever,
Yeah.
Just whatever, dude.
I hope
Shot a movie during COVID, trying to be safe. It's crazy.
I hope a lot of people come out of 2020 thinking like, yeah, I can survive a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of people are going down the route. It's like, it's just another day, dude. Nothing's gonna change. It's like, sure, technically a number changes, sure, but it's that mental hurdle.
Yeah.
You know, to some it may just be a day, but like, dude, that ball went down. This is a new life, and like you just go over, you know, resolutions and whatnot, which ours I feel they're pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, again, just implementing all this hard work and really showing what we can do. Plus, like, just a whole bunch of other just good stuff is happening. Like a lot of good stuff we can't mention.
No,
we can't mention. It's a secret.
Well, we're just, and that's the thing about a lot of studios, a lot of filmmakers is that like, I'm looking you and you and you, don't tell anybody about anything ever until it's out. Cause like, case in point, we actually had like 2 videos where, okay, let me put this down somewhere. I've been fiddling with it too much, but we've had like, there were 2 videos we were going to make this year that ended up like going on the back burner. One of them I'm trying to edit now, and that one's just, we've had the footage forever, we just still haven't done. And the other one we're still working on. But like, the problem is that like, unless you're actually building hype through like a Kickstarter or something, if you're working with like another group or something, stuff can fall through so quick.
Oh yeah.
So it's definitely don't, if you're actually working on something and it's like gonna happen, like you already can see the end of it and you're like, cool, okay, we're doing that, let's build some hype now, go for it. But like, geez, man, there's so much stuff that like, yeah, we can't mention too much because we don't even know if in a year it'll happen or like what. And we would hate for it to be one of those things that like on stream you're just like, or like you get really excited about like the audience and like there's a couple of stuff that like people have mentioned. It's like, oh, what happened to this? What happened to that? And they're like, I don't.
Honestly.
So yeah.
When it comes about our industry, right, is that there's a lot of cogs in this watch. There's a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
If one of them can't make it, the clog doesn't function correctly.
Oh, yeah.
That plus, you know, this pandemic thing, you know, trying to play it safe. We want to be creators, right? We want to. But the thing is, like, we can be safe. We can, and we have. We've shot safely. There's the Uber short that we shot, that was done completely safely. But the fact is that we are trying to do bigger, greater. Bigger is the best word for it. We're just trying to do bigger stuff, and things just happen to fall apart because.
So I mean, do a thought exercise for me, online audience. Think of any school project you've done with more than 2 or 3 people. And think about how any of those can go wrong. And then imagine being on a crew of 10 or something, you know, like, and that's not a bad thing. It's just that like everybody needs to spend the time and like, and be into it. And so it's never like, whenever like stuff falls through, we're like, we get it. Like, it's okay. We might be a little salty about it, like for like an hour, but it's just like, no, it's fine. Like we totally get that. Like the world keeps moving.
Yeah. Everyone else has their own lives going on.
Oh yeah, man.
It's like that assignment project, but all your friends are sick.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my friend could have turned in his portion because they're out surviving. They're trying to live.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. No.
Is that kind of thing? Is no one's fault really. But now that things are slowing down, there's talk of like the cure.
Yeah, we'll see.
And all these other things, and things that have been opening up for businesses. Thank God.
Yeah.
But overall, that means more people are available. Therefore, more stuff, more skits, and more wits from us.
And another thing that I like about like kind of 2020 is that it's one of those a quote that I don't even know if like it was like Casey Neistat or who said it that like I attribute it to, but it's the fact that like I remember somebody said, get a job you hate so you'll know what you want to do as soon as you clock out. And it's like the idea that, don't stay at that job, but like the idea of like do something that really sucks for a bit so that you understand exactly what your dreams or what your stuff is, and to like move more towards that quickly. And I feel like that happened with 2020 is that it was just nothing but rough times for like, and I mean like I feel very, very lucky and blessed like at the way that 2020 hit me. But like I feel like a lot of people are in that place where they're just like, okay, cool. I now know exactly what I want to do because I've been stuck in Garbo for a bit. Yeah. So yeah.
A lot of this time with all this so-called free time that we've been giving, people
didn't feel free.
It didn't feel free. It really didn't. It felt more restraining. But I was talking to our editor Lucas, and we were thinking is like this year has been really good for like music.
Really?
People were like, dude, I'm just cooked up in this house, and like they've been getting inspired by like just standing there and just bored out of their minds. It's like, what can I write? And then just creating stuff. This year was really good for music, I feel.
This is just so you can plug Devin Townsend.
No, it's just to plug in like no, because like we have
I'm kidding. No, he's great. Oh
WAP
yeah,
is a banger, dude. I don't care what anybody says.
Yep.
I mean, just music in general has been doing really, really good. Animaniacs came back. I thoroughly enjoy that show.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the goods in 2020.
Oh, we got Auntie Donna's Big Old House of Fun.
Auntie Donna's Big Old House of Fun.
That really inspired me to be like, I just want to do more. Because we used to do, so for people that don't know, we used to do sketch comedy for like conventions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, like conventions stopped this year. So like a lot of people that I know also had that itch. But I just kind of forgot that we had done that. Like that was a big part of like how we became friends was like coming up with really dumb ideas and be like, this would make a fun sketch, and then like it became we got back to it. We're like, this feels good, let's do this.
We reminded ourselves that this is what we started off doing. Like this is this stuff. It was reminding me of I was actually talking to Kevin, one of our actors.
Yeah, he's great.
He was also an Uber. I was talking to him, and like we were just talking about some stuff, and like I brought up Mike Tyson and how he was training for like his pay-per-view fight that he was having.
Yeah.
And like he was just like bobbing and weaving or whatever, and then like somebody like his trainer landed a hit on him.
Oh.
And he was like, he didn't get mad or anything. He was like, "Oh shit, this is where I belong."
Oh.
And like, and from there, that's when he got serious. It's like, oh, there's no more playing. Like this is real. Like I'm back in my job. This is a job.
Yeah.
You know, that's realizing, rejuvenation.
Yeah.
Of like, this is what we do. And I'm just glad we're diving really deep into it.
I mean, it gets you out of like the rut feeling of just like, wow, okay, well, I'm gonna like when you know the beginning and the end of something, then you've like done it so many times that you're just like, okay, cool, this is how we do it. Versus like, if we're doing a sketch, like we might not have the same, like for a lot of our like videos that we do, it's like the same camera angle, we set it up. It's not easy, but it's also like we know exactly how to do it and we know the motions. While like if we're doing a sketch, we need to like, it's a different shot for the majority of it. Okay, well, how can we get coverage for this as cleanly as possible, like stuff like that, as fast too, because we don't got a couple days to shoot it. We got a
this
week.
Has to be out by a week.
And we got to get it to, like we just so everybody knows, we try to make it as easy in pre-production so that once we get to production, like filming, we can do it in a couple hours and we're good. Like another short we released this year was The Package, and it was about Alan hiding in a package, and it was very good. But that one, we also recorded very quickly and got it out super quick. And like that's the kind of stuff that we're just like, cool, okay, great, we just need to work on getting these shots and how we can do it quickly and efficiently, and it becomes fun and exciting versus like, cool, one camera angle, cool, in post we'll zoom in on this.
Exactly. I feel like,
which isn't bad, it's just not as exciting.
It's just you and I are very prideful of what we make and what we are and whatnot. So we'll be like, no, the lighting isn't. Oh no, we have to fix this. It's like, no, I'm trying to find that connection of like, this is for YouTube, dude. It's like you can make it look good, but it's about the entertainment value first. I feel.
Case in point, while we were eating lunch, we watched a Moist Critical video.
Yeah.
And he literally records with like a Samsung Galaxy 5 on a bookshelf.
Yeah.
And that's all of his videos. And he hooks up the mic to his chest, and he has 5 million subs.
Entertaining as all hell.
And exactly. And so like that's just like YouTube, we can make it look as good as we want, and we do. Oh my God, we spend a lot of time on that. And yeah, and it's good and it shows in our videos. But at the end of the day, I mean, like if you make something entertaining, that comes through. Look at anything on TikTok, you know? Like they don't and it's not a bad thing. It's just that like a lot of them don't spend that time on like background or whatever, and some of them really do. But I
feel like the genius with TikTok is that it's way too easy. It's like I have an idea, I can do it right now.
Oh yeah.
Here's my phone. Here's the. I don't even need whatever. Okay, here we go, and then they just do it.
Oh yeah,
and that's where like the spur of the moment comedy comes through, but
which is good. I mean, like that's my dream is the democratization of like filmmaking. If everybody can make a film, then we get more films and we can see which ones are the best versus other ones.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the audience, the free market decides. But yeah, I mean, like I love that kind of thing. And that's why like I was a huge proponent of TikTok when it first was coming out. Cause I'm like, anybody, like a lot of my friends are like, and they would come to us about like, hey, I want to make a really cool video. I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm like, I hate to say it, but like you could do all that with TikTok and some planning. So
you really don't need expensive cameras. You don't need expensive crazy lights for like.
It helps to have though.
It helps to have. It looks great. Sure, it looks great. It does. But like, the thing is, it's your idea. Get it out there first.
Yeah.
That's it. And you know, just I don't know. I'm too prideful and I like having everything needs to look pristine.
Yes.
Has to look good and blah 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 whatever. But I'm trying to move on to like, hey, get yourself out of that. And just make it presentable, make it good, make it fun.
Yeah.
Trying to the Nintendo approach. This is the year of Nintendo.
Yeah.
The Nintendo year. It's about the fun first. If not, why bother?
Why bother? I love that Reggie Fils-Aimé is just like, if it's not fun, why bother? I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of fun. Can we talk about video games on this podcast?
Yes, I don't, guys. I'm sorry, but this is like our gift to ourselves. This podcast, because we have not like sat down and just hung out on a actually in general for a while. I mean, like I feel bad. It's just been like run. So this is our time. We're just gonna talk about whatever.
Talk about stuff.
Please tell me about all the glitches you're into in Cyberpunk 2077.
Cyberpunk is so good and so bad at the same time.
It really is.
They have the neatest thing about Cyberpunk, great story. The story's okay, but the actors are really good. So you kind of feel invested. You're like, ooh, this is a real character, not a real person, a real character. I kind of care about characters. People, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it just so happens that it's this glitchy mess, but just like any games now, thanks to Spider-Man, I think. Because they really homed in on it. The free camera.
Oh.
It was like, you press I think on PC it's N, and you have a free camera mode, and you can take snapshots and pictures and whatnot.
That's awesome.
And the lighting in the game is incredible. I suggest like if you have a decent PC to run Cyberpunk, just for like pause it, boost all the settings to like max, and just play with the camera and don't walk around or anything. Find a cool scene, like go to one of the bars or something and like just play with the camera. Find cool shots, like the camera actually reacts with light, so you have flares and like you can adjust that. It's really cool. It's a really cool like.
I love that.
It's
just a cool like previs kind of like
thing.
It's a
cool previs and just a cool idea, and see how lighting works in video games and how you can like. I would get a snapshot. I'd be like, how would I recreate this? It's like, okay, I have a bunch of Asteras. I can just do that. But like, one thing that I know it works, but my brain doesn't want to do it. And Casey has told me, it's like, dude, Alan, you love all these crazy neon lights, but you never have a normal light on your character to show their skin tone.
Oh, like a regular
to have like a regular daylight on somebody. So like, there's a little bit of normalcy here.
Okay.
And like I've always struggled with that, but like Cyberpunk does it well.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, how would I do it?
Yeah, I like that.
So it's a nice brain practice for me while I can't do that in big sets anymore, or I can't practice on my own because one, that requires a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
And two, that requires a whole bunch of equipment. And three, that requires a whole bunch of time.
the three things we don't have.
Three things that like this year has totally screwed us with. And having that game to like just make puzzles for my brain. It's like, oh yeah, this is how I would like to do it. This is blah 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 whatever. The gameplay's alright. I
like it better for the previs ability.
Yeah, for the previs ability is great. It looks beautiful, but like the gameplay is it's okay and cool. I see what people are complaining about. I don't think they should have released it.
Yeah,
as it is.
I totally get that.
It feels like a scam.
The thing that makes me upset is how much the game devs are getting like yelled at, and there's like these are the people that got beat up the entire way here, and now are getting beat up for something that's not their choice. You know.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
I personally just don't know. I don't know enough about CD Projekt Red. Honestly, I didn't even like The Witcher when I first played it.
Oh, really?
I really didn't.
Well, no, that's the thing is that like apparently The Witcher was the same when it came out. It was buggy and gross. And
then, that's like the standard now.
Oh, it really is.
Video games come out buggy. You wait a month, it's fixed. The end. That's it.
And same thing with like No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky won a freaking award this year, and like when it came out was like this huge, amazing thing on a hill, and then like everybody was like, "This is stupid. I can't do anything." When like that was kind of the point of the game, but they did lie, which is not good. Don't lie about your game because they were like working on some like features, and we're like, "Yeah, you can do this thing," and they're like, "Oh, it's actually harder to implement than we thought. We'll build it in later." And then like when it released, they're like, "Well, you can't do the things you said you could." It's like, "Oh, dang." And like the guy that was presenting it was an engineer, not a presenter, so he was like, "Yeah, we're working on this. It should work. That like from my brain, this should work." And then it turned into an issue. And then now, like after so much development, they've made it into what they had promised and something basically completely different. And I expect that for Cyberpunk. I just feel really bad that like. It's just been a whole thing, like for all of the people involved. So you know,
it feels bad for the developers, sure, but I don't know. They decided to release it for some reason. I don't know. Do developers have a say?
They don't.
That's
the thing. They're all code monkeys, unfortunately. I can only say that because I was one.
Yeah.
And that, like, they're really just sitting there plugging away, and the middle managers are trying to help them as much as they can. All of their direct supervisors are working as hard as they can, but then everybody at the top who has administrative power over them is like, yeah, we'll release now. And then apparently there was a direct quote that said, like, no matter what we're releasing in December, it doesn't matter if it's finished or not. Like, apparently that was a direct quote because they're just like, it has to come out for our investment. Like, they wanted their end of the year portfolio to look better.
Yeah.
So if they release it, it becomes one of the most bought games of the year, and they're fine. But that's why it's like now they're getting into a legal battle where they're like being sued because like that's scummy. You can't do that.
Does what matters more? End of the year reviews or people like caring about your game? Art or money?
Ooh, here we are. And that's the problem. And that's the big problem is that the longevity of it is the important part. Because they're like, oh yeah, no, we can release it now, make a bunch of money, have it patched in like however long it would have taken for the game to be finished.
Yeah.
And then in 2 years, people will be like, you know what? Now it's really good. I'm glad I'm glad they took the time to make it as good. When in reality, it's like that people forget like that.
Exactly.
It was just like with No Man's Sky. I love the game now. It's awesome. But like a lot of people it's a redemption story. Now they're like the underdog where it's just like, oh, well, it was released and had all these issues, but we're rooting for you to make it better.
Yeah.
And then when they make it better, you're like, they did it. We love that. But it was all bad.
It's like movies that flop originally, but do really good at 5 years later.
Yeah, like It's a Wonderful Life. Go watch our video.
Yeah, like seriously, it's
well, like the cult classics.
Great example. But the thing is, I mean, you can now pre-order tickets.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah.
Or they'll just you can. It's called having a Disney Plus subscription.
Disney Plus subscription.
Or a HBO Max subscription.
Yeah, dude, HBO Max is gonna kill it, dude.
They're gonna pop off. I feel really bad for the filmmakers though, that like, and that's why a lot of suing happening this year. That like the filmmakers were suing Warner Brothers to be like, we didn't agree to this when we made this movie. When we gave you distribution rights, that's not what we agreed to. And I assume Warner Brothers just like, we had a clause in there you didn't read or something. They're just like, when we said it, we get online release rights. That doesn't mean whatever. You can't assume. So we'll see. But like, I've been reading too much in online contracts
Better
recently
them
too.
than me. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Better them facing that problem than me.
Yeah.
I mean, what a problem to face. It's like, oh, dude, Keon, your feature film is not in theaters. What the hell? I would love to be able to say that, but like, it's still like, it is bonkers. Although, yes.
It's been 30 minutes.
Oh, has it been?
Yes.
Oh my lord, I'm just.
Perfect.
All right, cool. Where were we?
Talking about video games, you said I will say.
I will say.
We can just move on to something else.
Let me tell you guys about Shark Tale. No, I'm joking. I'm not doing this.
Oh my god.
No. How can I? Yeah, what they did is criminal. Yada yada yada.
Yeah, but what I do want to talk about is The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
I really
that's
do.
That's something to talk about. Should we do a spoiler alert?
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
It's been a week, so if you were going to watch it, you would have watched it.
You would have watched it, right? If you care, you would have watched it. If you care, if you give a flip.
If you give a big old flip.
Yeah,
but I want to talk about the fact that and something that is, so I won't go into detail about it here. Make sure I don't, because it's one of those one of the things that I've been working on. But like, I love the development of that show and how much they've taken. I'm a big stupid Star Wars nerd now because my brother made me watch the Clone Wars, which I think that video came out this year, the Clone Wars video that we did about the bomb theory. Yep. But like, I'm so deep in that rabbit hole, and the fact that they paid off a bunch of those characters, like Ahsoka's in it. What is her name? Gosh, the queen of the Mandalores.
Yeah.
I can't believe I always forgot her name. Baby Yoda has a name now, and then they have the Dark Troopers, and it was badass. They talk about Admiral Thrawn. Ugh. So like, the fact that there is now a definitive, like, and they're going hard on this, that they like had that stupid announcement of like, here's 50 shows or whatever that are now going to be in this universe, is just like really validating that I'm just like, you know what, I feel confident in what's been happening, that I hope they don't screw it up.
I'm hoping that is as well thought out as The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
At the end of the Mandalorian, they have an after credit scene, which is the whole Boba Fett saga that they're trying to release.
Book of Boba.
And I'm like, that's dope, but who's involved?
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna have the crazy sets. You're gonna have everything is gonna be budgeted perfectly, but who's writing and who's directing this?
And on that note, I'm curious, like, if we're gonna get a different look, like a different DP. I don't want this to, in my mind, I don't want this to turn into the Marvel thing where like every Marvel movie looks very similar.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing, but like they could look so different and have such cool styles to them.
Yeah. Like
Ant-Man's a slight look at that where it's like a heist movie.
Yeah.
And like I would love the fact that like the Book of Boba Fett's all gritty and grungy versus like, the Mandalorian's like kind of the cool chill one. The Rangers of the New Republic is all like a fun space dogfight kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like that would be really cool, but like hopefully it doesn't become like everything is the same. You get a different DP and a different director.
I hope it doesn't become softer.
How so?
Because like Mandalorian was pretty hardcore.
Yeah,
like, you know, they had some cool battles and like some stuff like happening here and there. Yeah. People being shot by lasers and swords and dart sabers and whatnot. Dart sabers.
The dart.
The dart saber.
Big dart.
Big dart. But like the thing, I feel like with Boba, it should be more gruesome and more hard.
Yeah.
Like hardcore-ish. Because like Mando, he's a clean guy. You know, he's like, hey, I'm gonna just do my job and I'm gonna get out. That's it.
Yeah, that armor is a good representation.
I feel like with Boba, it's more like I'm a merc.
Yeah.
Mercenary, you know. Peace isn't an option. Clean isn't an option.
Peace was never an option.
Peace was never an option. But like stuff like that. So I'm hoping that like it's more greedy, more dark.
Yeah.
More just John Wick.
I'm into that.
But like stuff like that. I'm with you. I just hope they don't like copy press it.
Yeah. Because I mean, And the reason I bring up the production is that there's so many cool opportunities out there now with that like LED wall they were using. So awesome. And I love that technology, but like that gives you so much room to do so many things. And especially the fact that like Unreal Engine itself has like so I don't know. I didn't see the behind the scenes. I don't know if there are any, but like those Dark Troopers, like the imperfections on their helmets. I've been doing so much research into like CG and like all of the imperfections and cool like design of them. There's so much more you can do that like I don't know if that was Unreal. It could have been another rendering engine, but like there's so much other stuff that you can put in there and make a completely different like execution of it. Just like if you do a bad deepfake of one of my favorite characters in the world. God, I feel really bad for them because like there were a lot. Well, I mean, it got the desired effect. Everybody was like, "That's supposed to be Luke, cool." Yeah. But versus like the fact that like immediately, I think it was literally a day or two later, there's a better deepfake online.
Well, that's the thing though. I think they approached it with the like, okay, if we do this like the other Star Wars films and just completely CG Luke, people are just gonna make a deep fake and make it look better. So how about we just deep fake it?
Yeah.
But I feel like
do it bad.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't.
Bad is a strong word.
It's still uncanny a little bit.
It
it's still
really
a little bit uncanny.
Well, my problem is that it didn't look like they were using deepfake software. It looked like they were using EB-Synth, which is, if you guys have seen stuff by this guy named Joel Haver, I think it is, the guy that like those cartoon videos. What he does is you do he uses this thing called EB-Synth, which is like if you were looking at me and I move and I'm just standing like this, you can take this image and then draw over it like a painting. And then like as soon as I move a little bit, it'll try to match that drawing. But as soon as I get too far, it'll then say like, hey, I can't like make that work and look good.
It'll streak.
So then exactly, it makes this weird streak, and then you can just pause it and then take a keyframe from there and then draw over that, and then it'll like go through, which is super cool technology. But deepfakes are so different that like if you it looked like that, and the reason I bring it up is that it looked like they for some reason had Luke's face and they told the actor not to move much, and they just put a PNG over his face and he would make slight movements, but like it looked like it was just a PNG. It was so weird. So
they what was it?
Really surprised me.
What was the name of that Adult Swim show that you were talking about?
Tigtone?
Tigtone.
Yeah.
We're like
this is the puppet tool in After Effects.
Oh yeah, I know, but like it felt kind of like that, like you told me the behind the scenes they have to staple their heads against a wall. And like, I cannot move, and that's it.
They literally like viced their head into a thing, so that they and then put like an iPhone up to their face so that they could put the points and then do a motion track.
And what was the different option that the fans found out? You told me.
Is that they could put a helmet like a bike helmet on your head, and then just have the phone like on the bike helmet.
No, an actor. You said.
Wait, which one? I'm trying
to
remember.
You said the guy who plays Winter Soldier could have just done it.
Yeah. Literally everybody's like that. Sebastian Stan is the actor's name. They're like, he looks just like Luke, like Mark Hamill, so why did they not do that? I'm actually very certain that they're gonna go through and probably like change it, either use a better deepfake or do something and upload it to Disney Plus, because like They could do that with Sebastian Stan. They could reshoot it relatively quickly.
Like Mando wasn't even in the scene.
Yeah.
As far as I know,
they were all props.
Yeah.
My main issue with that is the fact that like, sorry to go deep into this, but my main issue with that is that to get around the deepfake, they framed him like a villain. Usually don't show the face of like a villain or someone sinister or someone mysterious.
Yeah.
And we all know Luke, like he's our buddy. Yeah. We went through the first 3 movies with him. He was our point of view character. So to only show us like his lower torso for half of it, he has this hood over, which is fine. The hood's fine to give the reveal. But then I think there's only like 3 or 4 shots that's of him. So the less you see of him, the more you're just like, I want to see more Luke. Why are we not seeing him?
This is weird. We all know it's him.
Yeah.
In Star Wars, if you give me a blank frame and you show me the color green, it's Luke.
And I hate to say it, Disney and whoever else, I love Mark Hamill's smile. He's an adorable person. So the fact that he doesn't smile or his face is just stone, he looks like Ryan Gosling, where it's just like he's like a robot. And I'm like, I don't like this. Like, come on, it's Mark Hamill. He's one of the most like charismatic people.
It felt like they were embarrassed by it already, because like you said, like like you don't show the villain's face in certain ways or whatever,
obscured by stuff.
But in some of the shots,
that would have been really funny if there was like a beam in the way, so they show it wide, you just can't see his face.
They just cut off his head literally in some wides where R2 comes in. It's literally just a chopped head. Where I don't know, people connect to people.
Yeah.
You can't have a person connect to a CG if that's the only CG thing in that room.
Yeah.
You can't make people connect to a cartoon if that's the only cartoon in the room. Yeah, there's crazy moments like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, right?
Yeah.
Where you'll have people who are just a cartoon in a room, but you know, with context.
But the thing that's funny about it is that, and we've talked about this a couple times, is that like, and they do this in video games. Right now, after this video, or like pause and watch it, go watch any gameplay from Final Fantasy VII Remake. Every single character at all times has a catch light. And what a catch light is that little glimmer in your eye that, like, right now we have a key light right here. You might see it right now from me. And I think you definitely have one from me looking at you right now. And that gives you, that's like a little shimmer. It makes your character look more inviting and excited. Yeah. He doesn't have one, and that's okay. But literally, someone did a deep fake, and he had one. I'm like, I instantly like him better.
Yeah, it's so much better. He doesn't look dead in the eyes. He doesn't look sinister.
Because they look like washed out and muddy, and it's just like that's so weird. Case in point, I think like King Kong in either the Kong movie or the King Kong movie from Peter Jackson. Like King Kong has a catch light, and then when he like either faints or dies, I haven't seen the movie, I've only seen the clip, but like the catch light goes away. And that's something that shows the life of your character. And it's funny that he deliberately didn't have one.
Yeah, catch light and rim lights are something that DPs purposely put there.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a rim or a catch light on your characters at all times. You really don't.
Of course.
You really don't. But if you're trying to
Final Fantasy VII.
If you're trying to do some hints though, it's like this person is a little more sinister, this person is hiding something. You can play with it with stuff like that.
Like with shadows. Go watch our shadow video.
Wow. But like one of the, and I hate to bring it up, but it's another Star Wars game where they have a key light that follows the character, like their face. So if the scene is dark, but they have in a computer graphic game or whatever, they have that key light following just the front of their face. Their face looks really muddy and gross.
That's weird.
It looks like they're dirty because the contrast ratios are crazy.
Oh yeah.
It'll be like, oh, here comes like, I don't know, like the worst one is Palpatine because Palpatine is like hooded and like in the movies there's like a shadow right there. It's like, ugh.
It's good. And he had like glowing eyes, like a cat.
Glowing eyes sometimes. But in Palpatine they just have that stupid key light, so it's like dark white. And it's like, what is going on here? So it looks muddy and gross. It's like grabbing a dark image and just like opacity mask.
Oh yeah.
Make it like, bright. It doesn't look good.
Yeah. And you can tell, they can tell what you're doing, kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's like, come on, guys.
That's what interests me about, like, because you told me about catch lights at one point, and then I looked at Final Fantasy VII, and I'm like, oh, every character has one at all times, and it looks cute. It looks fine. Yeah, like it looks good. So like I just find it funny that like I can't imagine how quickly they had to turn that around for that to have happened. And that's another issue. Like we poked a lot of fun at them, like the entire production for doing the thing about the deepfake. But at the end of the day, it's a TV show. Like, you know, they have to get their episodes out. And I didn't realize this, but the Auntie Donna, I listened to so many podcasts about the Auntie Donna Big Ol' House of Fun show. But they were saying that they literally were editing up until the release. And apparently that's just the norm now.
Yeah,
is that you just keep editing. You maybe have a safe version, like a safe rough that you wouldn't mind if deadline hits. But you're apparently editing up until the moment it goes live. So that might have been an issue. I do feel bad that like, yeah, they might need to fix it later. Yeah. But like, yeah, I can't, you know, we made a bunch of fun and we called them out. But at the end of the day, I definitely can't fault them for whatever they made. Because like, that's the only moment that every episode hit dopamine rush in my brain, except for the spider one. You sons of bitches. That one sucks. I was rewatching that with a couple friends, and they couldn't watch the episode because I was just like, oh, I hate this so much. Like I just every couple seconds was just making a noise of discomfort. So like, besides that episode,
I just didn't like the horror in it. It was kind of cheeseball, but it's Star Wars is supposed to be. Have fun with the content, and that's it. I I don't know. It's just the Mandalorian. This is gonna be the Mandalorian episode, but the Mandalorian. It's such an achievement as it is
really
already.
Is. Really
editing wise, cinematography wise, just production wise in general.
Something that blew my mind when I was thinking about, and the reason in my mind that it really is an achievement is that I was in my head thinking of the music to The Mandalorian and forgot that John Williams, I don't think, worked on any of that music. Like, and what I mean by that, he might have, I don't know.
Yeah.
But what I mean by that is that, like, it didn't sound like, you know, the Binary Sunset or the Force theme or the Imperial March. Like, there were only... Like every character has a completely different. Like the robots had like a dubstep thing, and it was so cool. I was fine with it. Mando has this perfect theme that you can add. Which was the moment that really got me is when everybody like rushes in. All of his friends rush in to like take down to clear the area so that he can sneak in and go get Baby Yoda. And while they're doing that, like, okay, cool, we see all the siege. They're running out shooting people, and then you have like there's smoke, and he like walks out of the ship. And you just hear the do 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 do, and it's so good. I'm like, this is too good. Like this is a new phase that like we feel comfortable that a new series of creatives can come put their mark on Star Wars and it will live like that. Like it's so good.
People cared about Mandalorian and his shows.
Oh yeah.
Like characters like Bill Burr. Like I've seen him in podcasts, and like he couldn't give a crap about Star Wars. He just doesn't care.
Yeah.
He just happens to be friends with Jon Favreau, and like Jon was like, "Hey, you want to be in this show?
Wouldn't it be funny?"
And wouldn't it be funny? And like and at first Bill was like, "I don't know. I make fun of people that watch that. I don't know." And his wife was like, "Fucking do it. If you don't like
I will divorce you right now." Yeah.
Like you are as soon as your face shows up in a Star Wars credit, you're immortalized. Like seriously, that's it.
Which he even said that like they had to like body scan him in case he died or something.
They body scanned
and like
him
of course they did
for toys, probably for like in case he died.
Yeah, but I love that like that's like if one of us were told to like I don't know go. I don't even know an adequate description, but it's like if one of us was told to go be part of BTS or like a K-pop group. We're like it's like I know nothing about it and would be probably a detriment to that set, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it
because like, why wouldn't I?
What is the point not to do it? Like it's crazy. It's huge opportunity for him, and I'm super happy for him. I thought he was great
because he was. I mean, like a lot of people are saying like he was the best performance from this most recent season, and I believe it. From that, like basically they recreated slightly that scene from the bar scene from Inglourious Basterds, like slightly.
Comedians can be funny. Comedians can be funny. They can be great actors. They can be whatever they want to be. It's just people don't take them serious, unfortunately. Like imagine Tosh.0. What if Tosh.0 was in Mandalorian?
Oh God, I don't even.
I would hate it. I would be like, dude, you're not in this show, bruh. Like nothing against Tosh or whatever, but like we know him as that.
I would kill to see Jerry Seinfeld in an episode of The Mandalorian.
What's with the green baby?
Well, and it's funny because like now he's like mean. Like, have you seen his interviews?
Oh, he's like jaded.
He's just mean to people. Yeah, jaded. But like, I remember one in particular. Like, he was just yelling at this interviewer, and it was like a regular interview, and it wasn't like the ones that he's famous for yelling at people about. Yeah. He was just yelling at this person about like, you don't understand this and that. I'm like, whoa. So I would pay to watch that. Yeah. Or like, what was I thinking? Like, the thing is, I would love to see a bunch of other actors in The Mandalorian. Case in point, that the one guy that was in Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, and he was also in the IT Crowd. He was a voice of one of the robots.
Yeah.
Taika Waititi was the voice of IG-88 in the first season. Nick Nolte, I think, was the voice of Quill in the first season. So like, I'm so about other people showing up in The Mandalorian and being a part of that universe.
Yeah,
it's just fun.
That's the whole thing. That's how Star Wars started. No one knew who Mark Hamill was. Harrison Ford was barely anybody.
He's a carpenter. Yeah.
Nobody knew who Carrie Fisher was. There were nobodies, and that's why it fit.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like I can't. Who was a popular actor back in the 70s?
Alec Guinness. The what's his name? Obi-Wan. He and maybe Grand Moff Tarkin were the only famous actors.
Oh, I'm talking about like Tom Cruise, like.
Oh yeah.
It's like that big.
Yeah.
If they had anyone that big in any Star Wars, it wouldn't fit. I feel like this is not Star Wars. This feels like, oh, that's a celebrity. I know that celebrity.
I would liken it to like there are movies now that
Unless
are led
Samuel
by like
Jackson, you're fantastic. Yeah.
Well, there are some movies now that are like led by one actor. Like Nicolas Cage apparently does these ridiculous movies where like everybody else is a small actor except for him.
One movie made it good, all right.
Yeah. But like it's the same kind of thing that apparently Alec Guinness, when he was doing, because like he's Sir Alec Guinness. He was already knighted at this time.
Yeah.
That like him, I don't know about Grand Moff Tarkin because like they were in different scenes. I don't even think he was on set at the same time they were. But literally, like all the other actors would be like, "Hey, so what about this? What should I do here?" And they would like ask him questions, and he would be like, "You know what? Yeah, here you go." And all the interviews with him are so nice because he's just like, "Yeah, I knew this would be popular, but you know, like it's just so silly to me." And like everybody's like, "Yeah, it's a thing for kids."
What is the name of the director that talks like this in the first season?
Werner Herzog.
Him.
Yeah.
They need to bring him back in some way.
Somehow.
I know he blew up, whatever, but like
So good. He had to go make 80 million documentaries.
Before, I forgot the name of the actual bad guy in Mandalorian. What was the actor's name?
So he's Moff Gideon, but the actor's name is Juan Carlo Esposito.
Yes.
Or Esposito.
Was it something like that? Something like that.
Yeah,
regardless,
something
regardless.
Esposito,
He was like his second. Like I thought he was scary. Like
good.
Esposito was great. I love him. But like this, I don't know why he's just like, bring me the child, and it's like, oh, that's
Good.
It's great.
Weird and
I
sinister.
love your penguin videos.
I love the way he talks about penguins.
The way the penguin is now marching and will never return and likely die.
Yeah, he did like Grizzly Man, I think, was him.
But why?
Like the darkness of life.
He has a master class. I'm watching him.
Oh, does he really?
He's really funny.
Oh my god, that's awesome. But yeah, it's stuff like that it's just like so nice. So this has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
But
Keep
that
talking.
also
I'm gonna check on the camera.
Sure. That also reminds me of the fact that what's it called? Okay, good. That also reminds me of the fact that Christopher Lee, I think we might have talked about this, either you or me and my brother, that Christopher Lee, the guy that played Count Dooku, he also played Saruman in the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah.
And that there was a part talk about talking back to your director, but it was good. Is that he was also in World War II. He was a spy. Yeah. So he was a spy in World War II, and there's a part in the Two Towers where he gets stabbed and falls off of the tower. And Peter Jackson just went up to him and he was just like, so I like that read, but like imagine you're actually getting stabbed in the back, and he's just like, I don't have to, and it's just like, and it's just, I love that kind of stuff. Like the same thing with Alec Guinness didn't have to do that kind of thing, but I love the fact that like apparently people were doing the same thing with him and Ian McKellen on the Lord of the Rings, where they would like come to them and be like, so how about this? Like, do you think that this is okay and stuff like that? And it's just so nice thinking about this kind of sets, because I'd say I've definitely been on sets, and so have you, that like we feel like there's somebody that is so experienced that it would be a shame not to ask them stuff.
It's stupid not to ask them questions.
Yeah.
Every DP that I've worked with, sorry, like I'm gonna ask you, like, hey, why are you doing this? Like, I've deliberately is like, so what is this light doing for you?
Yeah.
And like they'll just be like, ooh, and they immediately go into it. They're like, well, if you see it, this light, it's like. And they're just so into it. You're like, oh yeah, I know, bro. I know, right? So and like, it's so cool.
This is good. I mean, it's just nice to talk, because like that's why we're there. We're all there to like create and be creative.
I'm interested. I'm interested in what you're doing creatively.
Yeah.
I just want to steal some of your ideas, but like some
Yeah,
of your
yeah.
techniques and like do my own way, you know?
And so if we're going back on track with creativity,
Yes.
I would say that's like one of my
We have exactly
mantras.
5 minutes until the cameras reset.
Sure. But that's like one of my mantras is that like if I'm learning something, and I had a problem with this when I was starting 3D printing,
Yeah.
is I would be like, well, I have all these things that like I do and I don't want to share with anybody because then
Mm-hmm.
they might be better than me. And then it turned into like, yeah, you could think that way, or you could just give them the same knowledge that you know, like
Yeah.
make it easier for people to start out so that when they find something, they feel more excited to tell you, and you guys
Yeah.
are sharing, and it becomes a big thing. Because I had these specific settings I was using on my 3D printer,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to share them with anybody. And then somebody actually told me, like they were just like, yeah, I'm trying to do this, I don't know what's going on. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah, this is how this works. And like I hadn't talked to them about 3D printing before that. Then we became best buds. We still text each other about random 3D printing stuff we saw, and it's become that way with like a lot of other stuff. Is that like I never want to and I'm constantly trying to make sure that I never am being that gatekeeper that's just like, I don't want to
Yeah.
tell anybody about this stuff, it's my secret, when I just
Yeah.
Googled it and they can Google it, but
Exactly,
it's easier
yeah.
for me to just send them the link than them to do the 10 hours of research I did. So
Yeah,
it's just nice. It's nice being a creative, like keeping everything like open source.
A positive creative is what I like to see.
Yeah.
And that is what we want everyone to be.
Yeah.
Be positively creative. Whatever knowledge you have, share it with the world, because guess what? The world's gonna share it back.
Yeah.
It kind of has to.
We're all a community.
That's like
That's what the channel's about.
What is that rule? It's like an actual rule.
Yeah.
It's like a law of physics. It's like what you put out is what you get.
Oh, the thermodynamics, that there's no
Yeah, that thing from preschool everyone knows but me. That thing.
yeah, that like, well, every action has an equal and opposite reaction,
Exactly.
but there's another one that like energy can't be destroyed, stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for this year, guys, be creative, be you, share that knowledge.
Be a good member of the community.
Be a great member of the community. That's it. Because that's all we have. That's what this year taught me.
Yeah.
When everything shuts down, all I have is my friends and strangers to ask questions for. So hey,
I feel blessed. I feel blessed with the community that we've been making. Love you guys on the streams. Thank you guys so much for hanging out on our streams and being consistent about that. Like, it freaks me out how many people are just like super into it and like love to hang out with us. But also the fact that like, thank you guys for being really positive members of the community. I can't, besides bots, I can't think of anybody that's in our chat that isn't. We have some weird bots, but like, I can't think of anybody that like comes in and isn't anything but like constructive and excited and like ready to learn and ready to share the stuff that they know with other people. So,
and
love you guys.
Guess what? There's more of that coming next year.
Ooh, 2021.
It's gonna be our year. Can't wait.
Hope so.
But no, we've talked enough in front of these cameras. Obviously, we're gonna keep on talking
After
because we're already on a roll. But anyways,
thank you guys for watching.
Seriously,
thank you for being with us in 2020.
Yeah,
seriously.
This is it's gonna be great. It's gonna be powerful, dude. We're gonna come in with right hooks and right hooks only.
Yeah.
Just like nothing but strong punches.
Oh my God.
We're gonna be that annoying cousin that does low left kick, and that's it.
Oh my God.
And we're gonna win the fight.
And he's gonna win, dude.
And we're gonna win.
Play lame, win game. That's what we're gonna do.
Experience is experience. That's all I'm saying.
A win's a win.
A win's a win. And on that note, thank you guys so much. I don't know which camera to look
I
at.
assume that one's the only one on right now.
Thank you so much for sticking by. Thank you so much for being part of this entire community, and thank you for being with us.
Yeah.
And yeah, see you
This
on
is
the
hot
next
as
one.
hell. I want to get out of here.
Let's get
Can
out
we
of
please stop? Don't touch my book.
You're right. I shouldn't be touching things.
Okay. You got a lighter?
No.
Okay.